Hi there, just want to give you a couple of tips to keep in mind when traveling overseas. So the big one that everyone worries about is money. And that comes in a wallet usually. So before you leave home, it's a really great idea to have a look at your wallet and perhaps really have a second wallet, which is your travel wallet, and decide what you need in your travel wallet and leave your other wallet at home. So in my travel wallet, I'll often take my license. I always take a international license as well. You can get one from a RACQ for $30, I think it is. So get your travel license as well as your own license. Then I have 2 credit cards and obviously my passport and the cash that I'm taking, or any other way, traveler's checks or things like that. So that's my travel wallet that I take with me. Then I suggest taking 2 credit cards. So one that you'll use in only an emergency, and the other one is, your day-to-day one if you need it whilst you're on holiday and you're using your credit card. So you don't need your Medicare card and, your Maya card and all of those other cards, because if your wallet gets stolen whilst you're on holiday or you lose it, you're going to have to try and remember all those things that are in your wallet. So I would just leave everything at home that you do not need to take with you. So then the other thing that I would recommend is taking a photo of all of the other things that you may need whilst you're overseas that you're not taking with you. But that's also taking a photo of your passport, your license, and any other important documents and sticking them on the cloud. So sticking that in Google Drive or on Google Dropbox or even in your email account or something like that. But somewhere safe that no one can hack it, obviously. But, it's always great for someone to be able to access your documents should you need them. If you're involved in a natural disaster or anything like that and you lose all your travel documents whilst you're overseas, it's great for someone to be able to access those and help you out, or for you to be able to access them from anywhere should you have internet connection, so that when you go to the embassy, that you've got some sort of proof of who you are. So the other thing is when you actually are overseas and you've got your travel wallet, don't take all of your cash around with you. So often a hotel will have its own safe, or the hotel reception will have a safe that you can use. And most of these are pretty trustworthy. I mean, it's always nerve-wracking, but I think it's worth, you've got a risk whichever way you go. You've got a risk with carrying it on you, or you've got a risk with leaving it in your suitcase even though it's locked, or you've got a risk with putting it in your hotel safe, or a risk with putting it in the hotel reception safe. You've got to choose which one you're feeling more comfortable with. But I would recommend that you just take the cash that you want to take with you for the day, and take 1 credit card, so that you've always got spare cash and a spare credit card, and your traveler's check somewhere else that's, the safest place that you believe it is for yourself. So for me, it's usually the hotel, the safe in my room that I put everything in. Also pop your passport in there as well. You don't really need to have your passport with you at all times, especially if you've taken your photo ID, your license with you. You don't want to lose your passport. So I would recommend leaving that nice and safely in your hotel safe. So on your day trips, all you really should have is the amount of cash for the day that you want to spend and the 1 credit card should you need it. Because some of us, we see something we must buy whilst we're on holidays, and if we haven't got enough cash, we can't get it. Sometimes that's a good thing though. But the other thing is to bring copies of the phone numbers that you need to call in case of emergency. Because if your phone gets stolen and you don't have any phone numbers to call anyone, it can be a little bit of a problem, and even email addresses. So I always have a little emergency book which has emergency phone numbers for credit card numbers should I ring the bank, if I have to ring the bank instead of having to find them on internet, because you might not have internet. So you need to be able to ring the bank and cancel those cards should anything get stolen. Having important family numbers. So making sure that you've got all of that as well in your safe, because if everything does get stolen, at least you've got a backup of cash, a backup of identification, and a backup of numbers so that you can call. The other thing is to register your trip as well. So there's a government agency, which we're going to put the name of it right here. So always register your trip as well, so that if you are involved in any sort of accident or any sort of natural disaster, there's a hotline that your family at home can call, and they will be able to liaise with that organisation a lot better than having to worry about you so much. Always register your travel with that organisation as well. Now, the other thing is medication. So my husband is a type 1 diabetic and my son is an asthmatic. So you should always have double the medication. So, for instance, if your bag gets stolen for the day and your diabetes medication and your needles and everything were in that bag and all of a sudden you don't have it anymore, you're going to be in a little bit of strife. So always have double. So there's one that's always with you at all times, and there's always one as an emergency backup back at the hotel because otherwise you can see what could happen is if your bag gets stolen or lost whilst you're out and about for the day, all of a sudden your holiday is turning into a bit of a disaster, especially for really vital medication. So always make sure you've got double of everything, because it does happen. We've had things pickpocketed and things stolen with us a few times, unfortunately, especially in large crowds. So always have everything all sorted and in your hotel safe. And I hope these travel tips can help you with your next trip overseas.